Boy, is today's video a fun one. Yes, it is extreme. No need to tell me in the comments below. I'm letting you know right now, it is extreme. Anytime that you challenge yourself in some way by removing either a little bit of food or a lot of bit of food, it becomes extreme. This was a really fun challenge and I'm excited to share with you how my last 7 days have gone just eating oatmeal. I do want to pop on here really quickly and let you know, if you're looking for food only, what I lost this week or my workout plan, you can check out the timestamps down below. I am going to chat with you a little bit more throughout this video, and first I'm going to tell you why. Why did I decide to do this extreme only eat oatmeal challenge? Easy, if you're new to my channel, you know I've done a lot of food challenges, workout challenges here in the past, for a variety of reasons. First of all, I love pushing myself, especially with workouts, just to see what I can do. I did a 10-mile-a-day challenge on the treadmill. I've done potato challenges. I've done extreme challenges with amounts of money for how much food I can make for a very teeny tiny budget. So this felt really no different to me, because I feel like this is a really popular video. I've seen it a few times, and being plant-based, it doesn't feel as extreme as if I were coming from a standard American diet. Quick disclaimer, I did this because I know that mentally I can remove some foods from my diet and go back to my normal way of eating. You know yourself better than I do, so please don't copy what I do just because I did it. Know your mental health more than anything. Food is there for pleasure, it's there for fun, it's there for social events. I never want to make someone feel uncomfortable or feel like they have to do a challenge just because I did it. So here are the guidelines for the past 7 days. It was oatmeal, fruits, and veggies only. That's it. Now, like I said, since I'm whole food plant-based, it's a lot easier for me because I'm already used to eating a high starch, low fat diet. I already don't eat a lot of nuts, seeds, or oils because of allergies, so removing them for 7 days really wasn't a big deal. In this video, you're going to see parts of each day from the past 7 days. I started filming it more vlog style by sharing with you each meal that I had throughout the first few days, but it became very repetitive, so instead I decided to dial it back on the last few days and just share with you new recipes. But I filled in every single day with broccoli, green beans, cauliflower, and carrots. Those are my veggie staples for the week. And anytime if you don't see an additional meal, it's because I had oats with frozen berries, which is so freaking good. It's like a dessert. Now, you could say my taste buds are a little warped when I say oats, just plain oats, cooked with water, and berries are like a dessert. But when you remove a lot of processed foods from your diet, your taste buds do change. Remember, you are just getting the highlights for the week. I did make sure to have between 4 and 5 meals a day. I don't count calories, anything like that. I eat till I'm satisfied, and that makes me really happy. I'm so pumped to share this whole overall video with you. I feel like it encompasses myself as a whole. Food, workout, chatting with you guys about plant-based food. Also, it's super budget friendly because oatmeal, really cheap. So as you know, I do follow a gluten-free diet, but I was able to reintroduce regular oats back in. The reason I took them away is because we just weren't sure if they were causing stomach issues. I don't share a lot about my personal gluten-free journey other than to let you guys know I'm gluten-free. I went gluten-free last October. And if you think you might need to be gluten-free, go see a professional. I worked with a registered dietitian. She helped me out. We did an elimination diet. I didn't share all of that here on YouTube because a lot of times when you share things, people are like, oh, that's me too. And then they copy it, and you might not need that for yourself. So just a quick disclaimer there, but these are regular oats because I'm able to eat them. And she has worked with a lot of people in the past that have taken gluten away and then reintroduced it slowly and been fine. So cheers to everyone who can eat gluten. I have found that my triggers are flour and pastas, and like very heavy processed breads. But anywho, let's talk about oatmeal. So you probably saw this. If you did see my Get It All Done video from last week, I made a peach cobbler bake. The peaches were for my friend's tree, and I made some carrots, cauliflower, sprinkled with some garlic salt, maybe onion powder, and regular sea salt. So good. Roasted veggies, 10 out of 10. Always. And really that was the gist of day 1. I had some of this the day I made it, but then the next day when I started this whole thing, I had some amazing peach cobbler. It was so good. I ended up making a second batch later this week because I had some leftover peaches in my freezer, which I did share with you on my Get It All Done video. And this day I was able to go upstairs, and it was late afternoon, and edit and eat this warm cobbler. I have a rule of no food upstairs, but I broke that rule this day. And then to fill in the rest of this day, like I said, I did oats with berries and then broccoli. So you're not going to see a lot of repetitive meals this week, but hopefully this will kind of give you an idea that I kept things very simple. About a year ago, I stopped eating broccoli because it would always hurt my stomach. And I find that if I roast it, I'm usually good. If I steam it for a really long time, I'm usually good. But if I have it raw, which is honestly my favorite, I can't digest it. I literally just sit there with a rock in my stomach. I don't even think you're supposed to eat it raw. Someone once told me in a video, you're not supposed to eat raw broccoli. I don't know. And you're not supposed to eat raw green beans. I don't know. Both things I grew up eating raw all the time. And if you're curious about how much oatmeal I had per serving, between 1 and 2 cups dry, just depending on how hungry I am. And I always soak it in water just to kind of cover it. As you can see here, it has a little extra. Pop in the microwave for 2 minutes. I always put my microwave cover on top because if you make it in the microwave, you don't want it to explode all over. Our microwave is so clean because of that cover. Worth it. They're $1 at the Dollar Tree if you can find it, and $2.99 on Amazon. I'll link one down below for you because if you don't have one, you need one. And then just frozen berries. I like to eat it cold because I like cold oats, but I have some surprises here for you guys. I'm going to eat hot oats most of the time this week, and I have a lot of savory oats that you're going to want to try out. Shout out to my sister. She sent me this recipe this week, and I've seen it a few times on TikTok, and I don't know about it. I don't think it turned out splendid, so this is kind of a recipe fail, but maybe you guys have made it and it's worked for you. 2 cups of oats, 2 cups of cold water, let it soak for an hour, blend it in your food processor, and you will have glue. I had a little bit of extra water because it was getting rather, it needed some more absorbency, I guess. Salt, minced garlic, minced onion maybe, and some garlic powder I think I added. You can add whatever you want. They can be sweet or savory, and then you can put stuffing in them if you want. I was running super short on time this day, insanely short. I was going to do a mushroom, onion, spinach in the inside to make a breakfasty wrap. No, didn't have time for that. I just ate the oat wraps as they were. I think there's 2 issues here. One, I think they need to be made on a griddle. My pan's a little too round, so the temp is off when it comes to cooking pancakes and wraps and stuff like that. So it looks pretty. And then 2, I think my second issue is my flipper. I think I need a thinner flipper so I can get underneath it. 3, if we're going to really be honest here, I didn't let it cook long enough on medium to low heat because I was in a hurry. I was once those had sat for an hour, I was okay, now I have no time to do anything else, let alone make them. They turned out all right. I'll chat with you here in a little bit as I do a live taste test. They could be better. Again, different pan, flipper, a little bit more time, and I think they would have turned out okay. As we all know, it doesn't matter how food looks, but about how it tastes. So while the other one is cooking away back there, I'm just making a couple. I think I'm gonna refrigerate the batter. I found that when I do banana oat pancakes and using the banana skin, that works best for me. So let's try it. Okay, so good. Don't know if it's tortilla worthy yet, but I give it a 9 out of 10. So if you like savory breakfast, give this a try. I also had a quick apple on the go because, like I said, I didn't stuff them with onions, mushrooms, and spinach like I planned. And then for lunch, I decided to do more savory oats because I was like, you know what? For the day, we're going to savory it up. I love tomatoes. They're my favorite food on the planet. And some oats, salt, garlic. It was really good. And I think this would be better cold too, but I did eat it hot because
I don't have that much time to eat lunch. And honestly, that's one really nice thing about oats. They take 2 minutes. You cut up some fruits, you cut up some vegetables, you have some veggies in the fridge that you can warm up. Yes, I use the microwave. If you choose not to use the microwave, that's okay. I put the microwave in my house when we built it because I knew we would use it. Otherwise, I would have not put it in. I laugh about that because every time I share anything related with the microwave, someone comes across and is like, you're going to die of cancer. Well, newsflash, I have no control over that. The world is what the world is, and everybody has cancer cells. And if they develop, I mean, if it's because of the microwave, then okay. I mean, really just do what's best for you. This was really, really delicious, very simple, like the whole week was. And this is definitely one I would try if I were you. It'd also be really, really good with fresh basil. Back to another savory oat dish. I had another one of those tomato and oat dishes for like a late lunch. It was really good. I feel like, okay, tell me if this is weird, but like a vegan mayonnaise and a hot sauce would be really good with that. Almost like a tomato sandwich spin. I know that's really weird, but you got to try it out. This was literally salt, parsley, canned corn, and oatmeal. This would be so good if I would have baked it like a fritter, like little lumps. You'll see later on I did some baking and got some really great recipes.
Day 2 of eating only oats. Today I just ate savory oats. I don't even know if I want to finish these. It's not like it tastes bad because it tastes good, but I'm full. I'm like so full. And I will say, I normally eat cold oats like always because they're sweeter, and I thought, well, maybe I should eat them warm. And I think the reason I'm super full is because they're hot and it's very hot outside. We're having like an excessive heat wave, so they're just not like super enjoyable. I'm gonna put them in the fridge though, and if I want them later, I'll finish them. Day 2, check, check. Not tired of oats, but sweet oats are just like, they just hit different in the summer. But this is like a really good combo. I highly recommend trying it. I put a little sea salt on there and parsley. It's really good. Give it a try.
Day 3, I had some leftover peach cobbler. Like I said, I made a whole nother batch of that and bananas. So I had that basically for breakfast every single day this week, which was awesome. I'm going to make it again. I'm going to ask my friend, do you have any more peaches? I'll take them. And then pickled carrots. I also share these in my Get It All Done video. I've been trying to pickle something every single week, whether it's cucumbers, onions, red onions pickled so good, or carrots. I think I need to try asparagus and maybe a blend of like different veggies, but I don't know. They're just so good. I will type out the recipe that I use down in the description box below. But this day I had both of these cans or jars, I guess, of pickled carrots because they were so good. After I had the first one for a snack, I was like, I wish I would have made more of these because they're super good. If you don't have the in a pickled seasoning from Trader Joe's, you could just use dill, onion powder, garlic, salt. You don't have to make this complicated. It's just vinegar, water, a little bit of sugar, and seasonings. And then you pop it in your fridge for at least 24 hours, and they are so flavorful. The nice thing about this whole video is I feel like each day had kind of a theme. These are the crockpot apples I made in that same Get It All Done video. Now you know why I was doing so many different things. And I kept saying like, oh, I can't wait to share next week's video. So I decided to do oatmeal, baked apples. Oh man, so good. Just a little bit of like almond or coconut whipped cream on the top. Ooh, it would be so good. And the crockpot apples are super simple. Chop them up, put them in your crock pot. You can add anything you want. I just did cinnamon, lemon, and water. I'll also type the recipe for this and leave it down below. Cook on high for 2 hours, low for 1 hour was the perfect recipe for me. So 2 hours high plus 1 hour low. There was some confusion in that in my last video. But if you make them a different way, go ahead. You can add brown sugar, cinnamon, nutmeg, pumpkin spice. That all sounds really good. But these are really good. And then you can just pop them in your refrigerator. If you don't use them up, put them in your freezer. And if you like them a little firmer, you can cook them a little different. If you want them softer, cook them a little different. They're just really good. So good. And I use the lemon, and I leave the lemon in the pot because it adds a lot more acidity, and I think that just tastes better. But you can take it out if you want to.
Hey, darling, Can I tell you what's been on my mind? Sick and tired of the 9 to 5 in the city life. Hey darling, we could get out of town, see the beautiful world around, wanna see it now. Pack our bags and get in that car, leave a little note and we'll drive real far. Let's get out, we can leave this city, let's drive to the open air. Yeah, the countryside is so pretty.
For days 4 through 7, I kind of had to meal prep ahead because I needed food to be done. And this is when I stopped kind of vlogging every single day because things started to get repetitive. And I would eat my meal and be like, oh, I didn't film any of that. So I took some leftover applesauce, about 2 cups of applesauce, I would say, and then a bunch of my cooked apples. Oh my gosh, have I told you have to make these cooked apples yet? Because this recipe right here is the reason why. So then I just added a whole bunch of oats, probably like 4 cups maybe. Honestly, I know it bothers a lot of people. And then a lot of you, like the majority of you, cook like I do. We just get in our kitchen, we dump stuff in a bowl, we call it a day. I don't measure, I cook based on sight. So if something looks like it needs a little bit more oats, maybe it needs to be a little bit stickier, I'll add some water. It's not that serious. So anyways, I made like, my husband called them little apple bites because he actually came home when these just came out of the oven, and he was like, are those just for you or can I have some because the house smells so good? And I just like rolled them. I hate to say like a meatball, but that's kind of what it reminds me of because I don't know what else to explain it, but kind of just like this little soft, moist ball. Oh my gosh, it was like so good because the top got crunchy in the oven and the inside stayed super moist because of the applesauce. Ooh, these were so good. Honestly, these with like with a little bit of warm almond milk, like in a bowl, would be like a reverse oatmeal and it would be so delicious. I just ate them like this. They're a perfect snack, perfect meal. My husband had some. I made a couple of batches. You definitely need to give this one a go. It's super good and super fall forward.
I'm kinda new with apologies. Holding back, I got history. Yeah, yeah. But the way you've been crossing the line, oh, it's something in me that says it's fine. Hoping you wouldn't change me. Got the same old thoughts, be my referee. I will be alright. Never cut it right, but somehow you make me change. Like I'm better off.
The other recipe I made was kind of like a breakfast bake, but also we had it for dinner. It was really good. I keep saying everything's really good because I make it and I like what I like. I shredded some zucchini, about 4 zucchini, some Roma tomatoes in my little food processor. If I can find it, I'll link it down on Amazon. Salt, garlic, and parsley was what I added to this, and then I had hot sauce on top of it. Really, really good. If you are eating tofu currently, I would actually take a brick of soft tofu and blend this with the oats and the vegetables, and you would have almost like an egg-like bake. Really good. You could also omit the oats altogether, but I feel like the texture is just really good. Added the seasonings, the veggies, and then the oats. Again, I just dumped oats in roughly about 4 cups, but again, it had like that same, feel it out. Is it moist enough? Does it need a little bit more oats? You could also throw a little bit of water in there. It's not that deep. Mix it up. Put it in a glass baking dish. I did spray it with some avocado oil so it wouldn't stick. There's nothing worse than having a dish that like all the food is stuck to the bottom. And then baked it. And I will leave this recipe along with the little apple bites down in the description box below in case you want to recreate it yourself. I'll do my best to give you some measurements so you can kind of feel it out, but this would be really good with shredded carrots, onions, mushrooms. Like I said, throw a block of like soft tofu in here. I threw it in the oven at 350 for 40 minutes. So it kind of dried up a little bit with the zucchini, adds a lot of nice moisture, but it was nice and crunchy on the top and so like moist and delicious in the inside.
come the stars come to shine when it's dark from so far away and show us where we are.
Let's talk workouts for the week. What did I do? How much did I do? Did this change in any way? So usually I run every single day, at least 1 mile. And lately I have been doing between 3 and 4 cross-training workouts a week, whether it's yoga, lifting, biking, Stairmaster, whatever. I do some kind of cross-training. So this week I actually only ran. And the reason I did that is because I just didn't know how my body would feel just having oats. Yes, I'm used to a high carb, low fat diet, but I'm not used to just having one specific starch and that's it. I usually have a little bit more variety in my diet. So I ran between 3 and 5 miles every single day. If you followed me over on Instagram, then you saw my 5 before 5, which is 5 miles before 5 a.m. Yes, I'm an early riser. I get that question all the time. And I just went with however my body felt that day and plus how much time that I had. So some days I got 3 miles, some days I got 5, some days it was 4. You get what I'm saying. It wasn't super extreme for me this week because that's the type of movement my body is used to and I felt really good. There was just no cross training this week. And I feel like the number one thing people want to know, how much weight did you lose? So typically when I do these types of challenge, I don't share weight loss. I will weigh myself. And typically I'll weigh myself, well, at the beginning of the challenge, I'll weigh myself and then I'll weigh myself every single day because obviously you don't want to lose too much weight. I mean, that means you're not eating enough. But I will say, sometimes with these types of challenges, I've shared this with when I've done potato, like Mary Mini style diets. If you don't know what that is, Google Mary's Mini, Dr. McDougall. You will find a lot of information on it. Plus I've done some Mary's Mini potato videos here on my channel before. And this oat week is kind of like a Mary's Mini as well. But a lot of times when you're just eating one food, your digestion is so much smoother. Reason being is variety causes different lengths of digestion time. Just eating oatmeal, just eating veggies, just eating fruit kind of kept things really just smooth for the week. I didn't have a lot of variety in my diet, so I feel like not having beans, not having tempeh, not having tofu, not having pasta, having less variety actually decreased my weight because, again, of digestion. Now, I will also say anytime I eat beans, my weight tends to be higher just because it pulls in a lot of water in your tummy, in your digestion, in your intestines to digest. So just even removing beans, I feel like the weight went down. So I don't necessarily think that it was like hard weight loss. I think as soon as I go back to eating my regular diet, my weight will go back to its set because personally I've been around the same weight for about 2 years of being plant-based. I ebb and flow about 5 pounds. Just to be clear, I did not do this challenge to lose weight. I did this challenge to share different oat ideas with you and because I like a good challenge. Really, it's that simple. So I lost 4.7 pounds in 7 days, which is actually a very drastic weight loss, especially for someone who is always moving, who has had a set body weight for at least 2 years. That's a drastic weight loss. But again, I'm kind of attributing that to just being one set starch for the week. I feel like my body was just like in tune with itself. I was eating more fruits, more vegetables than I have in what feels like a while because it's been a very busy summer. And I feel like my body just feels really good. I don't feel lethargic. I don't feel low energy. I feel great. Again, I do feel like as soon as I start eating regular varieties of my normal foods, my weight will probably go back up to what it's used to be. But what is my plan for coming out of this challenge? Well, I put a community post up a few days ago. I really want to do a 50-50 plate 30-day challenge. If you're unfamiliar with the 50-50 plate is, this is it. Basically 50% of your plate is starch and 50% of your plate is greens. Very simple, super easy to follow, but yet still a little bit challenging. So starting tomorrow, which is Monday, September 12th, which actually when this video goes up is yesterday, but that's like a time warp thing that's hard to comprehend sometimes. You feel me? Anyways, I'm going to do a 50-50 plate 30-day challenge, and you're welcome to join me. You can check the Facebook group down below for some accountability. It's run by my friends Courtney and Rena. They're amazing, but I'll be in there active as well. But it gives you a place to post for accountability, to ask questions if you want to, and just to kind of have a group that's doing the same thing as you. I will be sharing my 30-day challenge here on YouTube. Every single week, I'll post an update of how the last 7 days have gone. I'll share my workouts, I'll share meal ideas, I'll share food prep, and I'll share weight loss updates as well. Again, I'm not going into this challenge thinking, oh, I want to lose X amount of pounds, but I do keep an eye on those things because, again, if weight starts to fall off too fast, it probably means I need to eat more or move less. Because I have said this in the past before, when I followed the 50-50 plate, when I first went plant-based, I got really thin really fast. And not that that's a bad thing, but I feel like my body, I like best where it's hanging out right now. So I do like to keep an eye on those things. And of course, I feel like as a viewer, you want to know all the nitty gritty. You want to know all the details. You want to know why. You want to know what I'm eating. You want to know about weight loss. You want to know about workouts. So that's why this full video is encompassed of all of those things. Thank you so much for watching today's video. Give it a huge thumbs up. Follow me over on Instagram and make sure to check out Courtney and Rena's Facebook group as well. I hope you join us on the 30-day 50-50 plate challenge just to have something fun to do. Of course, you can make it your own and do it any kind of way that you'd like. If you want to add a few things, it's totally up to you. It's completely customizable. Have an awesome day, and I'll see you Thursday in another video. Bye-bye.